City News is brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers, Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.
Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. Newly selected Labor candidate Tamati Coffee aims to target the first-time and non-voter demographic. More than 3,800 Rotorua homes are warmer and healthier thanks to 2 government programs. And the tree outside of the Arts Village gets yarn bombed. Well-known television personality turned politician Tamati Coffee is aiming to target the first-time voters such as new migrants and youth, and also the 1 million people who didn't vote in the last election.
Well, there are 150,000 people nationwide who have just turned either 18, 19, 20 and will be voting in their first election, so that's a huge number of people, young people. There's also 150,000 new migrants that will be voting for their first time as well. So it's about getting to those people, and also, as we said before, those 1 million people that stayed at home last election and didn't even bother to get out of their seat or leave their house and go and vote. So it's not about, for me, it's not about convincing all these National Party people that they should be Labour voters. It's about trying to mobilise those ones that sat at home last time round and say to them, and the young ones, and say to them, you know what? You should start taking an interest because this is big and this affects your future. And we've got these people that are in Parliament spending your money. So you want it to be spent on good stuff and not dumb stuff, really simply.
More than 3,800 Rotorua homes are warmer and healthier after having insulation installed under 2 government programs. Rotorua MP Todd McLeay says warmer, drier homes have a positive effect on people's health, meaning less money spent on doctor visits and fewer sick days. Mr McLeay says the insulation programs Warm Up New Zealand Heat Smart and Warm Up New Zealand Healthy Homes are helping to reduce health risks for many Rotorua households. Third-party funding from organisations in our local community, as well as support from the health and social sectors, has contributed to the success of the program. The large tree outside of the Arts Village was yarn bombed yesterday as part of a public art project that has been in creation since the new year. It's all thanks to a group of volunteers who have spent many hours knitting hundreds of metres of colourful acrylic wool, with the pieces now stitched onto the tree. The Yarn Bomb Tree Project installation will stay in place for 12 to 18 months. Local green thumb Dylan Jull has won Rotorua's Mitre 10 Easy As for Kids Big Pumpkin Contest, with his pumpkin weighing in at 47.7 kilos. The Mitre 10 Easy As for Kids Big Pumpkin Contest is a national competition now in its 2nd year. Launched in October 2013, children were asked to plant pumpkin seeds and care for them until pumpkin harvest time in April. Dylan beat off 5 other local entries to take out the local top spot. In sport tonight, a successful weekend for local Premier rugby teams. Whakarewa beat Oporiki 30-15 and Rotoiti won 40-30 against Mount Maunganui. To your weather update now. Tonight, light rain with an overnight low of 11. For tomorrow, Tuesday, cloudy periods increasing with northeast breezes developing, a high of 18 and a low of 13. And the outlook for Wednesday, cloudy with rain or drizzle at times, northeast winds, a high of 18 and a low of 14. And the marine weather for Tuesday, northeast 10 knots with waves less than half a metre and cloud increasing. Remember, for program listings or to watch City News again, visit our website tvrotorua.co.nz. You can also see updates on our TV Rotorua Facebook page. Coming up after the break, Dr. Kate Mills tells us about the reopening of the Sexual Health Clinic. And in a 2-part segment, we cover the recent Legal High protest march and hear why locals, including MP Todd McLeay, want the synthetic drugs banned. Last week, the Rangiora Sexual Health Clinic was reopened at the new premises at Rotorua Hospital. Our crew went along to cover the event.
Meaning place for healing. And I congratulate all Kate and staff in what you had available here today.
What happened is that sexual health, what used to be in the hospital, so over a few years what we did was we expanded out to the community, and we always kept a clinic going on here as well. And then as we've done that, we've also developed up this new contract around sexual assaults that Kate talked about, and is having a confidential, responsive, sensitive service that is part of the suite of services that we provide for women, child and family, a really important part, and one that I'm really proud that we provide a superb service here for our community. There was a contract that was agreed between the ACC, the Ministers of Health and the police, and it came together as a tripartite arrangement where the three government agencies working together developed up this contract for us to work across services to provide service to the patients, so to the customer or to the clients. And that happened, started to happen, and we got the contract 2011. So we've been working on it since then. It has been challenging. There's been a range of issues that have cropped up as we've done that. But this facility here is what as we started going through the new build of the hospital, we earmarked this down here specifically for the service. It's got a separate entrance. It is discreet in terms of the rest of the hospital, and we've been able to use the space really effectively. It was actually really nice to hear the police say that it was a really top-rate, a facility for Rotorua.
The SOUTS contract they talk about provides both forensic coverage, which the police require for people to come to us immediately after, a few days after a sexual assault, but it also provides a service where people in the community can come regardless of whether or not they want the police involved, and that's really important so that people who may not want to report to police or have their matter investigated can get treatment and ongoing care.
So will it help you solve crime?
This stuff's invaluable for obtaining forensic evidence. A lot of sexual assaults, we rely on the forensic evidence that Kate Mills and her team obtain for us. The only officers that deal with this sort of work are members of the Criminal Investigation Branch, the CIB. So they've all had training, ongoing training, specialist training, and we actually, my guys all attend a 1-week specialist course just for dealing with sexual assault matters.
So what used to happen before this?
Before it was often at GP surgeries, and it was a little bit more ad hoc. This gives us much more structure. It's much more available to the community. It gives us a little bit more peace of mind because the rooms that we know what examinations have gone on, so it's more forensically sound from our point of view. And it's great to have people that really care and are really skilled, because they're doing quite a few of these examinations. It's a little bit difficult if you're only doing one examination every 6 months to stay up to date with the latest and greatest, but these guys, because they are regularly training and they're regularly doing examinations, they really know what they're doing.
I think people are becoming more open in talking about their sexual health. So we have a lot more conversations about things that are hard to talk about. So things like erectile dysfunction and sexual problems that people have, people are becoming more open to talk about them. Yeah.
So it's not just sexual infections?
No, we do all sorts of things. So when I talk about sexual health, I'm thinking about that in the widest possible terms. That's about your relationship, the health of your relationship, not just infections that you might have, but it's about protecting your fertility and your contraception. And for me, it's really about being patient-centred, and this kind of centre centre is about empowering patients to make choices. So no, they don't have to go to the police. If they want to, we will help them, and we will do everything we can to help them do that. If they're not sure, then we have the facility to collect evidence for them and look after it for them while they are making up their mind about what they want to do and what's the right thing to do for them long term.
Voted for the law that currently allows this product to be sold, and I know that there is some teeth in the law, but the law is in advance of the actual teeth. The teeth still don't have the ability to bite, and they won't have until August or September of this year. So in the meantime, this product will be sold. I would like somehow for this product to be banned until such time as there is the ability to test it to see if it is safe.
Those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Engineer. I'd like to acknowledge the presence here today of my fellow councillors, Medifika Rotorua Taitu, the chair of our Strategy, Policy and Finance Committee, which is considering the District Council draft local approved product policy. That policy is up on our website for all of you to view and make a decision. Also, Councillors Charles Sturt and Councillor Tanya Campbell are here, along with our Chief Executive, Mr. Jeff Williams. So we are here to hear what the community is saying today.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I recognise you and thank you for turning up today to represent your views so strongly in Rotorua. I want to recognise the youth workers and the carers in our community, the doctors and nurses, the mums and dads, the brothers and sisters, the uncles and aunties who are here to care for our young people and to send a very clear message. As your local Member of Parliament, I'm angry. And the reason I'm angry is these products are still be sold. I'm angry because we can't ban them. In July of last year, I, along with every other Member of Parliament but one, voted for a law, and we knew it would have taken off our streets completely, but we were angry that every time we would ban them, these people would produce more and bring them into our country, and they would poison others with them. So the ban in the vote in Parliament wasn't to legalise, it was to reduce harm. We put a law through Parliament to ban 40 of these products, and the time it took us to ban those 40, hundreds more came, and they were worse, and they were harming more. So we decided to put in place a law to reduce the harm. But we didn't say that that's enough. Every day we look for ways to get rid of this harm. And today with you, with my family, with my 4 children, I come forward and say that the people that have these licences, and the people who decide to sell them in our community, are the ones who are causing harm. Around the country, when the law went into place, there were 3,000 or 4,000 shops selling this muck. There were 300 products being sold. Today there are 150 stores and only 40 products. And there's 150 stores too many, and there's 30 products too many. Here in Rotorua, there were 20 to 30 shops selling them. Today there are 4, and we know where they are. And I say to those people, listen to the voice of our community. Look at what the people are saying. Send your licenses back on Monday. You do not need to sell these products.
We want them shut down now. So what do we want? 1, 2, 3, 4. We want you to change the law. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want you to change the law. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want you to change the law. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want you to change the law. Ban to better. Ban to better. What? Ban to better. Ban to better.
So a pretty good turnout here today. Now, obviously, you had something to say to the audience and to the crowd here, but what can you do for the community of Rotorua about synthetic drugs right now?
Well, I think it's very important to recognise the turnout here in Rotorua today. All over the country there are marches. Some of it is directed to the government, but actually it's about anger and concern about the harm that psychoactive substances are causing. As a local MP, it's my job to turn up. I proudly do so. I marched with my family today, in part to show that I'm angry as others are, that these products are still for sale. Sadly, we've so far tried everything to ban them, and the people that decide to manufacture them and to sell them in our country act faster than the law can keep up with the bans we could have put in place. But there has been significant reductions in harm around the country. In Rotorua, there were 20 or 30 stores. Today there are 4. There are up to 300 products available. Today there are only 40. That's not good enough for me. Every day I look for more ways to reduce harm and to find an effective ban to get this muck out of our communities.
One of the speakers was a gentleman who was a father whose son died from smoking synthetic cannabis. As a father yourself, what would happen if you saw your kids doing this sort of stuff? Well, and what would your reaction be?
Yeah, so in part the reason I've asked my family, asked my kids if they want to march with me today, is it is about education. Look, I know more about these products than most people because I was the minister at the time we had to put the law through. We put it in place because some of the worst products that we had banned, those 40 we banned, were about to come back into the marketplace, and harm would have been caused. It was my decision as a minister to get these laws in place to reduce harm, to start protecting local communities and to give tools to local communities. But I talk to my kids about this stuff. I'm not one of those that thinks we live in an ideal world where bad things don't happen, but education is a very big part of that. To mums and dads, talk to your kids, make sure they're not having access to this stuff because it is dangerous, as many other things are. As a local MP, I'll be taking the petition to Wellington and joining with my colleagues. Every day we look for ways to ban this muck and get it off the streets. We will find a way, but we nor anybody else in the world has found it yet. At least we're reducing harm. We're going to keep the work up.
Why don't you just ban it outright?
It can't be banned outright, unfortunately. So what we did was to ban a product, you have to describe it. When we describe it, they change it. And so the time it took us to identify and ban 40 products, hundreds more came to the market. And all over the world this has happened. In America, they've got 4 or 5 pieces of legislation. These products in, a new one comes, it's for sale, they have to test it, they have to ban it, and it gets on a list. What we've done in New Zealand is said that if you want to sell products in New Zealand, rather than us using taxpayers' money to say it's bad and to ban it, you prove it's not going to harm and you use your money to do that. It will cost up to $2 million and maybe 2 years for these people to do that. And if they can't prove that it won't harm, then they won't be allowed to sell it. So in effect, everything is banned. until low risk of harm is proven. We're going through a transition phase at the moment to make sure the law is robust, but we've given the councils the ability, a tool, to say that they, on behalf of the community, want greater controls, and it's my expectation that when our council finishes this process, they're going through it at the moment, the 4 shops in Rotorua, not the 20 or 30 that were there before, but the 4 that are remaining, will have to close down. But I actually challenge them, they don't need to sell these products. They can listen to the people of Rotorua, they can send their licence back on Monday and stop selling this muck in our community.
Yeah, we've talked to those people from those shops and they've all said the same thing. You know, people have free will to choose, and you could say the same argument about cigarettes and about alcohol and real cannabis. What's your argument with that?
Well, they're right, people do have a free choice, and those that are selling it can choose not to sell it. They can choose not to sell it. All over this country, shops choose not to sell cigarettes. It is somebody's choice, in this case, if they want to take it. But these are harmful chemicals. Nobody knows what's in them until the testing is done. So what they are doing is selling chemicals that haven't had tests done on them, that we continue to look where harm's been done, and when we do, we withdraw the licence. And so actually, when it comes to the freedom of choice, the people selling them in this community should exercise their freedom of choice, support our community, and send those licences back.
Cheers, Todd. Well, you've got to be pretty happy. A good turnout, at least 300, maybe 400 people.
I was hoping for about 400 people, and I'm so excited that Rotorua has risen up against synthetic cannabis.
Now, there's a few people out there speaking about their experiences with this sort of thing. Todd McClay spoke, Deputy Mayor Dave Donaldson spoke, so it's good to get some high-profile city leaders up there as well.
Absolutely. I'm thankful for them for taking the time to tune up so they could hear us face-to-face about what we want and the feelings that Rotorua have about synthetic cannabis. Yeah, I'm glad they were there.
Now, one of the few other things that people were saying is that there's only 4 shops here in Rotorua. Tom McClay just finished talking with him, and he wants those 4 shops closed down. But I think it's more about just getting the substance banned from our communities first, isn't it?
We want it absolutely gone. We just want it fully banned. I don't care what shops, who sells it, whatever. I just want it fully gone, and I want it gone now. I'm just tired of it. Yeah.
So where to from now?
What we're going to do is keeping an eye on what the council's going to do and what Todd McClay is going to do. We'll have a bit of a watchdog committee, and if we don't see any more movement, we might have to look at actually standing outside those shops, so as Todd McClay said, so they can choose to send in their licences. Let it have a personal choice on them. Yeah, so that's what we'll look at doing. If we have to, we'll stand outside, and I'm not even by myself. I don't even care.
And a passionate protest march coordinator, Mariah Pulmana, speaking there about the lengths she'll go to continue the fight against banning the legal highs. If you have news to share with us, give the station a call on 073488 984 or email news@tv.rotorua.co.nz. And don't forget to watch the show again. You can visit our website, tv.rotorua.co.nz, and click on latest news. Thanks for joining us tonight. From all the team here at City News, Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News was brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers, Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.